PDP, Obaseki Shaibu 2020. I saw it be. Obaseki Pepe. Obaseki Pepe. Obaseki Pepe. Infrastructure, Obaseki Pepe. With education, Obaseki Pepe. With good food, not like better thing. Don't like better thing. If you don't like better thing, come up on the stage, we like better thing. Don't like better thing. Don't like better thing. If you don't like better thing, come up on the stage, we like better thing. Edos get the governor, where they like to walk. We get the governor, the people's choice. We get the governor, when he not the fail. We get the governor, Governor Godwin. If you enter a circle, you go see better. All the better, with my governor they do. If you enter a salon, you go see better. All the plenty better, with my governor they do. Obaseki Pepe, Obaseki Pepe, Obaseki Pepe, infrastructure, Obaseki Pepe, with education, Obaseki Pepe, with good food, not like better thing. Don't like better thing. If you don't like better thing, come up on the stage, we like better thing. Who not like better thing? Don't like better thing. If you don't like better thing, come up on the stage, we like better thing. All the way from Benin to Awuchi, Obaseki don't do something. Obaseki don't do plenty things. Say Edo people they happy. Obaseki don't build good schools. Obaseki give us good roads. Obaseki don't build stadium. Everybody for Edo they happy. Bye to Godfathers. Edo people come first. Pensioners is jolly. Everybody for Edo they happy. Obaseki Pepe. Obaseki Pepe, infrastructure, Obaseki Pepe, with education, Obaseki Pepe.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, viewers. What a wonderful day. What a day the Lord has blessed. As you all know, today's topic is based on the election that has been taking place in Edo State. And I'm also here to make some clarification of the propaganda for all what the negative thing they've been saying about Obaseki, Godwin Obaseki. It's despicable, unacceptable, and some of the propagandas are that Obaseki is sharing money to PDP. That is a lie from the pit of hell. It's disrespectful to Obaseki because he has suffered enough psychologically, mentally, just for the sake of Edo indigents. And instead of him to be commended, here we are castigating him in a negative perspective. It's a shame and it's appalling, and this should be rejected from every Edo indigenous. It's intolerable. So I'm trying to make people understand that this is not time for us to go back to the realm of time of Oshomole, who has brought nothing but disgrace to Edo people. He has subconsciously deceived all Edo indigenes, manipulated them from not knowing their left and right. They have brought nothing but disgrace to all Edo indigenes. So I'm glad that Obaseki is back. He's here to rectify the mistake that majority of our Edo's political leaders have made. He's coming to restructure the Edo, and he's make Edo greater again. I mean, he is highly intellectual, competent in all ramifications. He is incomparable with any other governor that ever ruled Edo State. Believe me. Don't get me wrong. You know, we give a kudos to blessed memories of Abu Salih and others who have ruled Edo State like Ogbemudia, We commend them, and we still keep on commending them for the effort and the things that they have done for Edo State. In fact, when it was Bende State. So this time, we have realized that our eyes are open. We are not naive. We are not blind. We are not blind that Osomole can talk from his two mouths and he think we are coward. You see, the funniest part of it is that Shakespeare once said that hell is empty and all the devils are here. All the devils who are all in other parties are all in APC. Imagine we can go back in memorial what happened during the time of Jonathan. We all castigate Jonathan in every miss. We castigated him because he was incompetent. Yes, he was incompetent. But we brought Buhari into board. And what happened? Everything became disaster. Here we are now. The same mistake. Is this the same mistake we are trying to make during the time of Obaseki now? It would be a shame and disgraceful if we allow Osomole to single-handedly pick Izeyamu to be a governor of Edo State who has embezzled 700 million naira and he's still chased by EFCC. What a disgrace to Edos. I don't blame because it's not the majority of Edo. I will not generalize it. It's only a few ignorance and illiterates who has tried by all means to bring nothing but destruction to Edo State. But we're not going to allow that to happen because Obaseki coming to Edo State is a blessing to Edo. He's a man who has left us with a choice that he's not here to share money to people. Because imagine, like Isaiah, who is sharing money everywhere. For instance, after he was won, don't you think he's going to return those money back to where he took the money from? Let us not be naive. Let us not be stupid. It's time for us to open our eyes to know between good and evil. Don't be afraid about all these talks. Because Martin Luther King once said that the language of unheard is violent. But we're not going to engage in violence with them because what? We are not afraid of them either. Because Martin Luther King said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and conveniences, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversy. And we are here to face those challenges. We know that we overcome that challenges with victory, with statement that they should listen to us. We know what is going on. We know what is going to happen in the next future. Because Obaseki is the answer to Edo's prayers. You see, Izeyamu is incompetent. Is he competent? The only reason why Osomole want to bring Izeyamu into board is because he's afraid, he's ashamed. Because why? Because Obaseki has done more than what he couldn't do for past 8 years. Obaseki has surpassed him for just 3.5 years. Obaseki is a man who believes in legacy. He doesn't believe in wealth or riches. That's why you see the situation of Nigeria today. That when politicians open their mouth, you just wonder that even animals are even well organized than them. I will be very frank with you. Because there are a lot I'm going to talk about today because I'm going to make everyone realize that majority of Edos who believe in Obaseki can see the vision. What is the vision? The vision is that the next generation will not suffer for what we have suffered from the hands of Osomole. Osomole is a disgrace. It's not only that. The Edos who are the headers of Edos like Oyegu, they all made a structure in APC for Edo to consistently to retain the chairmanship in APC. But what did he do? He went there and dismantled all the structure and be left with disgrace until he was humiliated and threw back to Edo State. Is that the kind of person you call a mentor? Is that the kind of people that these Edo people want to follow? He's dragging people to astray. They say when a blind is led by a blind, they fall into a pit. So let us open our eyes because we know what is good for us. Because when you taste a chocolate, stain on it. And that's more reason why Forrest Gump said that life is like a chocolate, but you never know what you're going to get. We can take categorically what we can get from Obaseki because he's competent in all ramifications. He is highly intellectual. Forget about the criticism by saying that his certificate is false. Come on, he's highly educated. What can you show more show for his certificate? Or are you talking about Isaiah Yamu that couldn't finish his that couldn't even finish his degree, his law degree? And all of a sudden you turn yourself to be a pastor in the morning, while criminal in the night. We should be ashamed. You see, the worst thing that will ever happen to Edo, I will make this thing very clear to everybody, is that if you allow Oshomono to get away, if you allow Isaiah to get away, will be a slap to all indigents. Our integrity is questionable now, because the whole state of Nigeria is watching us. They are watching us not just because of what is happening. They are watching us, the democracy that is playing out in Edo State. And they want to follow us and understand that they want to follow us to see if Edo can get it right. The whole of Nigeria can get it right. The whole Nigeria will be able to put their state in the right perspective, that you don't have to spend money to win an election. And that is what Obaseki is demonstrating to us. You don't have to spend. Obaseki is highly educated man who is one of us in diaspora. He knows that you don't have to play that politics. The game of politics has changed. He's coming. I commend him. I really do, because what he did and how he was able to get to the position he is now is beyond comprehension. You wouldn't know. He was so calculative. He got the position and he want to show the world, show Nigeria, show even Africa that you don't have to spend money for you to get to this position. Let the people decide. That is why we are deciding, because we don't want to be given money. We are not stomach infrastructure. Any politicians who come to spend money are there to loot this treasury. Get that in your mind. Let us not be fooled. Let us not be deceived. I'm not coming here to make statements. I'm coming here to make people to let those who are still ignorant to open their eyes and see the truth. That we have been deceived for so many years. Look at Africa. Africa is no place to write home about. Look at Africa. When I take a walk on Africa, in fact, when I travel to Africa, I look everywhere. I feel shame. So what kind of politicians are we? It's not that they don't travel abroad. Obaseki has once lived in abroad. He knows exactly what is going on. He's not coming here to dance like the tune like Oshomola. Oshomola has not lived in abroad before. Isaiah haven't lived in abroad before. But Obaseki did. He has lived in abroad for so many years. In fact, he's more or less an American citizen. He's not stupid. So let us not be deceived, be carried away by propaganda. So let us hold on, stick with him, because he's going to open eyes of Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are going to see the truth, are going to see the way politics is played, that you don't have to spend money. If a politician comes and trying to lay you by giving you money, you know that he's coming there to steal, he's coming there to loot. This is the time to change the game, and the game is going to change now. Because what happened in the Edo election is going to reflect to the Nigeria national body, whereby Nigeria will be able to choose by competence, not by how much you can give. We are sick of tired of letting politicians be feeding us with peanuts. At the end of the day, they have nothing to show for it after their tenure. So let us wake up from reality. Let us wake up and see the truth. Let us wake up and say, yes, we will need to change it. The voice of the people is the voice of God. If we can be together for us to raise our voice, believe me, we will continue to suffer and regret and begin to shout and scream and condemn all politicians. No, it's up to us to take the power by ourselves. It's up to us to raise our voice to say, this is the way things are done. We need to change the narrative. It is up to us to change the narrative. It's a shame and it's despicable for all the politicians to brainwash us and deceive us and loot money, and they go scot-free and nothing happened to them. What happened? Nothing happened to them and nothing to show for it. And we are just like cowards. Some of us are just like cowards. You see, the funniest part of it is that Shakespeare once said, he said, a coward died many times before his death, but the valiant never taste of death but once. So it's time for us, when you look at people who are cowards, there are people who are poor people. If you are coward, there's no way you can be successful in the society. Get that straight. Get that straight. Remove that mentality of slavery, of cowardness away from you. Especially when you engage yourself in deliverance. That will inflate all fears into your spirit, that you'll be able to know who you are anymore. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And this time around, God is with us. We are in the right track and we are in the right direction. This is not time for us to go back to the time when Lucky Benedict and Isaiah stole all the money there was nothing to write home about. Go and look at Edos State. Imagine if you look at Edos State, the structure that Godwin Obaseki has laid down. You realize that Edos State is just a small Dubai for 3.5 years. Imagine if he's given 8 years. Imagine what he's going to turn Edos State to. Imagine what it would be in the next 8 years. And that is what Oshiomhole is jealous about, because he knows he will overcome. He will overpass all whatever he has done for 8 years. But Obaseki is a man with integrity. They have rubbished him. They have called him on name, especially all those idiots from America or wherever who are shouting, calling him all kind of names, gay and whatever. He kept quiet. He kept silent. Because silence is the best answer given to a fool. If you are productive, you don't have to be in America or be in Europe and be screaming and shouting, calling him names. Come home. Come home. Think of what you can do for your country. J.F. Kennedy once said, don't think of what your country can do for you. Think of what you can do for your country. If you have the love for your country, go home and implement 1 or 2 things. Don't sit down in America and begin to criticize someone who is doing all his possible best to raise the standard of the living of Edo State. Look at pensioners have been paid. Look at workers have been paid. Before, during the time of Oshiomhole, a lot of people died. Pensioners died. Even Oshiomhole had the audacity to tell a widow woman to go and die. Imagine that. You allow this, even illiterate can be a billionaire. If illiterate can be a billionaire in politics, what is the essence of education for common man? What is the essence of education? So let's put that one aside. I came across a video from somebody called Young Landlord. He said Obaseki is sharing billions to PDP. What a life on the pit of hell. Where he is not, is inconsequential anyway. Because Obaseki that we know, he never said money. He said that Obaseki gave almost 15 billion to PDP. Come on, idiot. You should wake up from his slumber, because he's a baby anyway. His topic is of no consequence. There's no point of bringing this topic here anyway. But what I'm trying to make people understand is that let us not be fooled. Let us not be deceived. We'll be deceived enough. How much is 5,000 that will sell our generation to generation to suffer? For just 5,000 or 3,000? That would be a shame. Wake up and know. We know what is good for us. How long are we going to keep on laying with all these dubious politicians? They have driven us, everybody, away from the country because of their selfish greed interests. They have no love for nobody. They are insensitive to anybody. Well, what is the point of you glamoring for them? Clapping for them, hailing them. We are bringing destruction. Dude, we are the problem of Nigeria. The youth are the problem of Nigeria. If the youth know their left and right, believe me, they will stand for their vote and defend their vote. Imagine, Isaiah is sharing money, and you are clamoring, yeah, we want Isaiah. You think after he has won, you think he will remember you? You think he will come and use his own money to tie the road? He will use his own money to build all the infrastructure? Don't be daft. Wake up. We should wake up. It's time to wake up from our slumber. We'll be sleeping. Why Buhari was had the audacity to say lazy youth. That's why I call you lazy youth, because whatever he said, you will be taking. Because you'll be taking nonsense anyway. People are scared. Oshiomhole came for revolution. How many people were able to follow him? Not that the majority of Nigeria does not know what is good. They know what is good. They are just too coward, afraid. How long are you going to be afraid? You see, Western world, their forefather fought for their living, the one who is enjoying it now. Their forefather, they couldn't give a rat whether they will live or die. But they fought. And yet they are the generation and generation are celebrating and enjoying what their forefather has left behind. But what happened to our forefather? They all died like a coward. And the country is nowhere. So this time, let's make a statement. What is that? We live here, we are immortal. We live here, we die. You see, there's a time for everything. Time to live and time to die. Simple, period. C'est fini. So what are we saying? And it's time, I want to make everybody understand that I'm not saying this for me to flatter myself. No. No. Because if you don't vote Obaseki, we will regret it for another how many years, God knows how many years again. So it's time for us to come together. The perseverance we are going through will enable us to see what we have not seen before. By what? Specifically by the elimination of the Agborism, the hooligans. That is the perseverance that we are going through now. So time will come, we will be able to adjust ourselves and put this in the right perspective. And that's the area we are going. If you don't encounter difficulties, you will not see the light. Nothing comes easy in this world. Nothing comes easy. That's why I don't give testimony. I use myself to give testimony because I give God the glory, but He has made me to see all suffer and everything that when I begin to talk, I just say, I don't need to let Pastor tell me nothing. I just say it from my own experience. People might not believe me. People might not take my word serious. People might not even agree to my own observation. But I know everybody have opinion. But please, go home. Think twice. And see what I'm saying. Does it make sense? I'm not trying to use hammer to convince you that you must follow. No, I want you to see sense by yourself. To see how, if you keep on doing one thing over and over and over, and there's no changes, know that what you are doing is wrong. So we have been encouraging these bad politicians to do what they be doing. You don't know. Subconsciously, we don't even know that we are encouraging them. Because we forget to realize that what is bad and what is good is good. What is good should be commended. What is bad should be discarded. And that is the mistake that we'll be making. How long are we going to rectify those mistakes? It's a shame to see somebody still clamoring for Izeyamu. It's a big shame and a big slap. Because all the states in Nigeria are watching Edo. You think it's just honorary to call Edo State the heartbeat of Nigeria? No. The future of Nigeria lays in the Edo movement today. This election is going to determine the future of how Nigeria is going to go in the presidential stage. Trust me, that's what's going to happen. And that's why they're all waiting for Edo to see what's going to happen. Can they still believe in spending money? Or can people begin to say, no, we don't need money. Go and do this job for us. Show us your competencies. That is the future of what's happening. That's what has just been revealed to my spirit. That the future of Nigeria lays in Edo's hand. Determined by the election that's going to take place in Edo State. What did people think? To have to call Edo State the heartbeat of Nigeria is not just honorary. Because our forefather, they are the people with brain. They are the people with brain. So you don't underestimate their contribution to the development of Nigeria. In fact, from Edo State, Nigeria were made. That's why you see the Midwest region were covered with the only region that was able to get the autonomy from other places, beside other places. So they are highly intellectual. Edo State, all eyes are in this state. Trust me. And I want you to know that do not be scared about where we are going. Because the future is very bright. The future is bright for everyone. It's bright in Edo State. I can see blessing. I can see the place turn to paradise in the next 4 years to come. If we stand our ground and defend our vote and stand by Obaseki. Stand by Obaseki. Obaseki is the answer, is the prayer to Edos. Obaseki is a God sent by God to Edos. To Edos to take Edos to the next level. No, Izeyam is a crook. He's born a crook. He has been a crook from the time immemorial. So it's a shame, and I can't even believe that. So, people's integrity are questionable now at this point of time, because if you say you are a graduate that you cannot see the light, you cannot tell between good and evil, and you cannot tell between competence and incompetent, that means your qualification and your education is questionable. Get it right. Your qualification and your educational background is questionable. You should be ashamed of yourself. Don't call yourself a graduate. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's why you see, there's no effect of people admit when many people come out with the degree and say they are graduates, and there's nothing to show for it. There's nothing they can produce. There's nothing they can do. What can they actually do with whatever the degree that they're carrying? Nothing. They just become useless. Some people, not all, some of them are able to defend their degree with their integrity, while some are just cowards. That's the reason why it's good to attend classes. Not just by having certificates to prove that I have certificate. No, attend classes and to know exactly what is good and what is not. So imagine Osomole challenging Obaseki of his degree. What a shame. And you even have to Obaseki. Look at Osomole, who has no degree, who has not even attended school. Questioning somebody for what? For what reason? For what? Questioning Obaseki. Questioning his oh my God, this is the most humiliation I've ever seen. It's humiliating, it's downgrading to see that Osomole will have the effrontery to question Obaseki qualification. You see, that is where Nigeria has turned into. I will say that, but I think it's time for us to wisen up. It's time for us to open our eyes, open our minds to see reality, to say, yes, enough for this godfatherism. The godfatherism cannot be tolerated in Nigeria. It cannot be tolerated in anywhere, not even in those states. It will be a taboo, it will be a shame to see that Osomole is the one dictating for what is going to be, for what is not going to be. Look at all his lies. You said you made a mistake, you brought Obaseki into board. But the same Obaseki now will not embrace and love, because we could see that this man is competent. You came back again, you said you made a mistake. If you made a mistake because it did not fit your agenda, what does that have to do with us? Because it does not fit what you expected him to do. To loot the treasure and give it to you. For you to marry a more beautiful wife. Yes. A man who could go and marry a beautiful wife at his age. What do you think he's doing? He's the wife that is looting the money to. A young beautiful girl like that, what do you think she's gonna do? She's gonna demand. Or is she in love with Osomole? There, no chance. It's only demanding. This is what I need. If you don't provide this, I'm out of this marriage. That's why Osomole is doing everything possible to have a door under his palm. So we're not going to allow that to do. We're not going to allow him to do that. He should be ashamed of himself. We should disgrace him with this election, where Obaseki will win overwhelmingly. Then he will be disgraced and will be rejected back to Isako, where he came from. So I'm not trying to be sentimental in this situation. At first, when he came, he did well. I applauded him. But the kind of politics that is trying to play by dictating for those people, dictating for Edo people is what I don't like. It's what is driving us crazy. The majority of Edos are already with Osomole anyway, already with Obaseki anyway. They've rejected Osomole because they made Osomole realize that you cannot dictate for us in Edo State. It will be a disgrace, it will be a fool, and it will be a slap to all Edo's indigenes. That Osomole is the godfather that can dictate who is going to be a governor in Edo State and who is not going to be a governor, and who is going to bring in and who he's going to remove. We can't tolerate that. We can't accept that. So we are not going to sit down and look at Osomole to do this to us and rubbish us as if we are nobody. You have already disgraced yourself in Abuja as the APC chairman. Now you want to come and destroy Edo State again? And you think we are cowards? We can't allow that. So it's time. I'm glad that the majority of Edo people are with him. We're all trying to make Obaseki to understand that we are with him. I know he has suffered enough. Suffered psychologically, mentally, physically, from those who call themselves, comrade or whatever they call themselves. But we gave him assurance that we are with him. We are 100% behind him. That we love him because one matter, the democracy need to play. We know that, yes, that is part of democracy. But let democracy be played. Look at what happened in Oba Palace. What a disgraceful act. Look at how APC members were shooting guns. Making fool of themselves. Disgracing themselves to the entire world. And you are coming up with an excuse that yes, because it was a coincidence. Coincidence why they were there. There was nothing like coincidence why they were there. They were there just to make a fool of themselves. You are not going to make a fool of the governor. Everybody knows quite well that the governor is a gentleman. He's a gentleman, an entirely educated man, a competent man. He doesn't have time to rumble with you guys. But he has kept his cool all along. But the people has spoken. The voice of the people is the voice of God, as I've earlier said. So you are not coming here to come and raise some propaganda, share lies to people so that they can hate the governor. No. If he didn't share money when he was in the APC, why would he not share money when he's PDP? You see you see how people are stupid? You see how people can be lured into propaganda and you expect people to believe you? The educated one will not believe you. The literate one will not believe you. It's only the coward one that can easily be maneuvered that will believe whatever propaganda they're coming up with. We've gone past this era. The era whereby people have to realize that we are taking Edo State to the next level. We are supporting Obaseki, both financially, whatever, to make sure that he emerges as the next governor of Edo State. And nothing is going to change that. And I just want to use the opportunity to thank you all for listening. It's been a blessed day. May God bless each of every one of you. Thank you and God bless. I watched the video also. Bye-bye.